Hey, SoCal. For nearly 60 years, the Magic Castle has served as a mecca for magicians, both here in Southern California and around the globe. But this Abracadabra Boys Club also conjured a toxic culture of misogyny, racism, and homophobia. So, we met up with the diverse cross section of SoCal's magic community to discuss the challenges they face and how they're making the field of professional magic more inclusive. Let the magic begin.
Originally the private Hollywood residence of the affluent Lane family, in 1963 the estate was converted into the Magic Castle we know today. It serves as the headquarters for the Academy of Magical Arts, which boasts a roster of approximately 5,000 members across the globe. According to Anela Sanchez, a professional magician and magic historian, Southern California's ascent as the epicenter of eldritch entertainment traces back to Di Vernon, a venerated magician notable for tricking even the great Harry Houdini.
Di Vernon's title was the Professor, and he did for card magic and also cups and balls routines, basically what Shakespeare did for poetry. To have him come here and say, I'm going to retire to Southern California and I'm just going to spend all my days at the Magic Castle, that actually was a game changer for the membership at the Academy of Magical Arts, because that attracted a lot of young and up-and-coming magicians to come here, get their membership, and want to spend time with the professor.
Despite the success of this hocus-pocus community on stage, behind the curtains lurked a shadowy specter of toxic behavior. In December 2020, an LA Times expose shed light on a culture of bigotry within the castle that included sexual assault, sexual harassment, and racism. Although Anela hasn't personally experienced sexism within the castle itself, she admits misogyny is a problem within Magic's audience base.
I would say that instances of sexism that I've personally experienced has actually come from laymen, meaning people who are not magicians. And that has to do with the public image of what a magician is supposed to look like. And so most people, when they think of a magician, they think of a white dude in coat and tails. And yeah, he's usually sawing a woman in half, lighting her on fire, etc. And that does need to change.
Another change that's needed in the magic community is addressing homophobia. To Michael Gutenplan, a third-generation psychic and openly gay magician, this prejudice stems from the heteronormative nature of the field.
The joke that I make is, for a world full of sequins and glitter, there's a lot of straight people. I think a lot of the homophobia comes from the insecurities of being in a male-dominated world. Think of it like being in a fraternity, which is what they call the magic fraternity. It's mostly men. It's mostly older men who are at the top and younger guys kind of following in their footsteps. Sometimes, the gay joke is something that guys do together.
More overt than this homophobia is a pattern of racism at the Magic Castle, which, according to the aforementioned LA Times article, included members publicly using the N-word. Ice McDonald, a veteran Magic Castle magician with 40 years of experience, knows firsthand how ingrained racist vernacular is in this field.
Some people thought it was okay to say that, as long as they wasn't saying it to me. Two guys over there talking at the bar, talking about that N-word this and that N-word that. I heard that a lot. I asked, someone literally came up to me and said, Ice, we like you and everything, but we want to know if we can, we want to know if this joke is racist. And I said, first of all, you have to ask somebody if the joke is racist. It's pretty racist.
In response to the allegations in the Times article, the Magic Castle has established a diversity and inclusion committee in which ICE serves as chairman.
We are an advisory committee to the board of directors. And what we do is we come up with solutions to create a stronger and better atmosphere and a more inclusive academy, as well as Magic Castle. You must understand, with this being new, new diversity and inclusion committee, this is new to the castle. This is new, so everyone's not aware of what that means.
While the formation of this committee is well-intentioned, ICE's details of it were vague and its effectiveness is still questionable. More tangibly beneficial is creating safe spaces for minority magicians, as Anila did when she co-founded the Women's Magician Association in 2014.
For our AMA community, it really means a lot to be able to have a space for women magicians to come together, be able to share feedback with one another in a space where gender is not the thing that you feel you're being judged on. And so gender becomes a non-issue when we're all women, or more broadly, when we're all gender diverse.
Arguably the most effective change the Magic Castle made was firing its former general manager, Joe Furlow, for fomenting a toxic work environment. He has since been replaced by Hervé Levy, an openly gay man who's been working in the nightlife and hospitality industry since he was a teenager. Since taking over as the castle's GM earlier this year, Hervé has implemented a zero-tolerance policy towards discrimination.
First of all, we have no room for sexism here, and we want to make sure that everybody is able to communicate with us. So as soon as we hear any complaints, we just want to talk to everyone involved.
Have you had to do that within your first 3 months yet?
We did a couple of times. We sent two members to the grievance committee, and actually a third one is on the way.
Since the time of this interview, the review process has resulted in a 3-month suspension for one magician, and another magician is facing termination due to inappropriate behavior. Obviously, these 2 acts of discipline won't fix generations of bigotry and bias, but it is a step in the right direction towards making the Magic Castle and the field of magic safer and more inclusive for Southern California.